It's time to take a TO. You're listening to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kirk Cross. Each episode, we take you inside the DMV sports scene and beyond. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available. And now, welcome to this week's episode. It's time to take a TO. Here's your host, Kirk Cross, with Coach Steve Turner.
Welcome to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner. I'm your host, Kirk Cross, and we welcome you into the studio. This is episode 10, and we thank you for joining us. As always, my man, Coach Turner, is here with me, and we thank you for listening. You can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Apple Music, and just about anywhere you get your podcast content. This is episode 10. Let's get this thing going. Coach Turner.
Yes.
How's it been, sir?
Not too bad. Coming off the road. Nice opening season win.
In Chi-Town?
In the Chi-Town.
Coach, do you ever stay put?
Not when it comes to basketball season.
In a month, you were out of town 3 or 4 times. It's either Jarrett or it's a tournament out of town or it's something. It's always something with you.
I like to travel, so it works for me.
But you ain't driving to see Jarrett play. You flying.
I won't fly to Boston.
Right. If he's playing George Mason, you'll take the drive.
I'm driving. That's a drive.
Right.
But I mean, like, you know, Delaware, his games in Philly.
Okay.
I'll drive to those games.
All right. What about Raleigh, North Carolina? That's like 4 or 5 hours, Steve.
That's my max.
Okay, that's your max.
Yeah.
So 5 hours, you're done.
Done.
But Leah got to go because you need 2 drivers.
No, I can drive by myself. 5 hours is my max.
All right, I hear you. 6 hours, can Leah help or that's a flight now?
She can help, but I'm flying.
Steve, don't do it, Steve.
No,
don't do
flying.
it.
6 hours, we're flying.
How's the young man doing?
He's doing great. I think he's in the zone right now, and he's living his best life. And
right.
He's contributing to his team, and he's being a good teammate, and he's knocking down shots again. And I loved in the last game, man, he got on the board, 7 boards, 14.7 boards.
Okay.
And he got his first collegiate in-game dunk.
Oh, wow.
Which was so cool that 3 different photographers caught it from 3 different angles.
Okay.
And we were able to get all.
Let me guess, you got all 3?
Oh, you know that.
Did you post them?
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't been on social media enough. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, Leah posted something. I think she collabed with me.
Right.
So it was really originally under her post, but you can find it through me.
Okay, all right. What else is going on with you? Them Zags doing some things in Chicago?
My boys, they showed out a little bit.
Okay, all right.
We still got a lot of work to do.
Right.
I love that we're not a finished product yet.
Right.
You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
And so we're just going to try to grow. As I've told the guys, we got to grow one day at a time.
All right. So by the time people hear this, the game will have gone down.
A game.
Steve, we've both been waiting for this game. Maybe me not as long as you, but we've waited for this game, and we're going to let people know it's already out there. It's not like it's a surprise.
No, it's you know, I'm coming home.
You coming home. Tuesday, December 5th.
Tuesday, December 5th at the Nelson Coburn Gymnasium.
Nelson Coburn.
On the campus of Montgomery Blair High School.
Not 313 Wayne, though.
Nah, not 313 Wayne.
It's the 51 University Boulevard.
51 University Boulevard. It was nothing like 313 Wayne.
No AC.
No AC, hot box.
Right.
You're going to sweat to your drawers.
Right.
And it's going to be a good time.
And if it's Blair Springbrook, there are going to be people sitting in the windowsills.
And the go-go's going to crank.
Oh, it's going to crank. Yes, it is. But tomorrow, the Gonzaga Purple Eagles will travel outside of D.C. They're going to come up to Moco and play the Blair Blazers. How you feel about that?
Man, I'm excited, man. It's long overdue.
Right.
I got to give a big shout-out to Coach Tony over at Blair High School. And appreciate him for having us and, you know, being able to do a home and away for the next 2 years.
I was going to ask, are we doing that?
They'll come back down I Street next year.
Okay.
And but I'm excited to hopefully see some good friends in the house.
You know I got my tickets.
And then hopefully afterwards, win, lose or draw, we'll have a good crowd over at the Four Corners Pub.
Right. I saw that post. And that's what reminded me to text you, because don't sleep on the fact I texted you last week to ask you about tickets. You didn't hit me back. Now we're a bit busy.
Even at that time, I wasn't sure how they were doing them.
Okay, all right.
So in this, people will hear this afterwards, but
Right.
they're probably blessing about Blair's still one of the high schools that will take cash at the door for their basketball games.
Okay, I didn't know that.
A lot of the schools don't. They do.
A lot of them don't,
They
no.
do them all by the by
A ticket app or something.
Ticket app and scan. Yep.
Right. Well, I've got my tickets. I will be in the building. I'm leaving Bethesda, Maryland at 5:30. That gives me 90 minutes to get to Silver Spring, which if you're listening and you're not from the DMV, that's not a stretch. It might take an hour to get 2 cities over.
That's true.
It might, but I'll be there. I'll be in the house. I'm not wearing purple or red. I am rooting for Gonzaga. I will say that.
My big brother said he's going to wear a purple sweatshirt.
Stop.
And red pants.
Sean?
No. Deion Andrews.
Oh, Deion's going to be in the building?
Deion will be in the
I haven't seen Deion in years.
So I know a few people who I know are definitely coming.
Sean Clifton will be there.
Sean Clifton will be there.
He's not coaching? He doesn't have a game around?
No, he's helping. Actually, he switched. He's helping the JV this year so he can get over. Actually, they play tonight, so he'll be there no matter what.
He's still at Marshall?
He's still at Marshall.
All right. Cool. So I haven't seen him coach yet.
Kwame Coleman.
Kwame will be in the building?
Coming in the building. Tony Shropshire.
Tony, look, where is Tony not going to be?
Hey, that's my girl.
If it's a Blair thing, she's going to be there.
Shout out to her for putting a nice post out there just to get our alumni in the house tomorrow.
Okay.
And it could be some other ones in
there.
Could
be a reunion of sorts.
Could be a reunion of sorts. I'm prayerful that my little bro can make it. I know they don't play tomorrow night, but his son does, so he's got to figure out what he's doing.
Oh, by the way, I'm seeing Akbar at every game.
Well, you should. His son's out there.
His son's where?
Georgetown Prep.
No, I know that, but I see him at St. John's.
Well, he's out. He's
working.
NBA scout. So he's got to see kids play.
Yeah, no, I've seen him the last couple of games, and you know what happens. I get a text. Can you play some go-go back there? I'm always getting a text from Akbar, but he was there tonight. We're going to be back with our starting 5 in just a bit, but hold on, y'all. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kurt Cross.
The starting 5. We do have some WCAC business to handle. The NBA season tournament is here. College football has chosen their 4 playoff teams. Notice how I said they've chosen, because I don't know that all that was earned. And, of course, there's NFL and college hoops to talk about. Coach Turner, we're going to deal with the starting 5. Now, this is the way the starting 5 works, everybody. Each week I come up with 5 questions that I ask Coach Turner. He has not seen these questions before. He's not heard these questions from me before. He has 30 seconds to answer them. If he does not answer in 30 seconds, that is what you will hear. Coach Turner, have you seen these questions that are on my script right here in front of you, but turned upside down?
Come on, you know I ain't seen them.
All right, sounds like we have a righteous starting 5. So let's jump right into it. Get rid of one genre of music. What would it be?
For me?
For you.
I mean, you're not giving me a selection to pick from, or you just...
No, you know what? I want to know what your least favorite music is, and if you never heard it again, you would get rid of it.
Heavy metal.
You could deal without heavy metal.
Yeah.
If I told you had to get rid of 80s music, go-go music, gospel music, or 90s R&B, which one would you get rid of?
My mom's going to be mad.
Oh, no.
But out of those 4?
Out of those 4.
I'm going to have to get rid of my gospel
The
music.
gospel's got to go. The gospel's got to go. All right. Now, a couple weeks ago, we talked about video games, right? But I want to know what, you said you would beat me at Galaga, which we all know you can't. We all know you can't.
Get your quarters ready.
But I want to know the board game that you are best at. Which board game would you bet on yourself to win? Don't say life. You can say Monopoly or anything else. Don't say life. That's my game.
I never got into life.
Okay, all right.
But I'll go with...
It could be chess, checkers, I don't know.
Nah, I'm going to go with backgammon.
Backgammon? I ain't played that in so long. Good Lord, I'm not going to mess with you on backgammon. I haven't played it so long. You scare me with that answer.
Backgammon, and I am pretty good at Monopoly.
You are pretty good at Monopoly?
Yeah.
Those games last so damn long, though. Do you hold grudges or do you let things go?
Oh, is this a question? Or
That's a question. That's one
is this one of the starting 5?
This is one of my starting 5.
Go ahead with that one more time.
Do you hold grudges or do you let things go?
Life's too short, so I let things go.
You let things go.
But
you have a long memory, though.
I don't forget.
Right, there you go. I know you have a long memory, though.
I don't forget.
Which of our local professional sports teams do you have a plan for, or could you come up with a plan for, in terms of getting them back on the right track? And Steve, don't ask me which one, because all of our teams are off track.
I do.
All right.
Stick to my genre.
Right? You can help the Wizards?
Yes, put me in the GM seat. I can help the Wizards.
All right. You know what? I'm going to expand this. This is not written on here at all. How do I say this? Tell me 3 things that can help Washington right now, the football team.
The football team?
Yeah. I find it hard to say Commanders.
Well, I think it's now it's time to blow it up.
Okay.
We don't have a GM.
Right.
So hire a GM.
Right.
I like Rivera, but it's time to go.
Okay.
So don't wait till the end of the season to do it.
Wow, you don't even want to wait that long.
We can't.
Okay.
Or we're going to be behind again.
Okay.
So put someone in place so they can start prepping and getting prepared.
Okay.
And
there's one thing you're missing that they need.
and immediately we got to go get an offensive line.
All right, I agree. All those things are important, and you wouldn't typically think of this as one thing they need. They need an offseason. They need an offseason bad, so they can start regrouping. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Yeah. But that's not really a tangible
But I
thing.
think immediately,
right?
figure out who this GM is going to be.
I want someone young who plays the analytics.
I mean, the thing I keep seeing in video and in print,
right,
is which has got me kind of hyped. Is that, everyone knows the talk is that Rivera's he's gone.
Right.
But the word is on the street we're sought after. Both of those positions of being very sought.
Yes. We've got picks and we got.
So
money.
I think we're going to have opportunities to hire some pretty good people in those 2 spots.
I like I can't say his name. He's a very simple name, like Pete Johnson or something. The offensive coordinator in Detroit that enough people are not talking about, I think. And enough people aren't talking about Detroit Lions, in my opinion, as well. Give me, what do the Wizards need?
Everything. I just feel like
overhaul.
Well, I don't even know it's an overhaul, but you gotta bring in a number 1 and a number 2.
Right.
And I'm saying number 2 because Jordan Poole could be a number 2, but he doesn't act like a number 2.
Right. And Kuzma doesn't fit in that for you?
Kuzma's is a 2-3.
Right.
But
we're talking about pecking order.
I like Kuzma
position.
as a piece. I would keep him.
Right. Okay.
But I think to get to the next phase of being a regular playoff contender,
right,
got to go get a number 1 and a number 2, and we got to go find a guy that can do some things protecting the rim.
Okay, you need a rim protector. All right. What do the Nationals need? They stunk it up this year. I'll tell you what I think they need. I think they need a pitching overhaul.
Well, I was going to say we were so good a couple years ago,
right?
And then I don't know what happened,
right?
We definitely need a pitching overhaul in there. I think they're a team though. I think of all our franchises, they're the one that could turn it around quicker than anybody.
I think so. I think in baseball you can do that. They were young before, and I don't know what happened. The Orioles are young, but they have no one on that roster, and Angelos is cheap to write checks. So I don't know what's going to happen up in Baltimore.
They keep getting great young talent, but they keep losing it because he won't write checks.
Right.
So it's almost like
it's a catch-22.
51st dates. We just keep restarting over and over and over and over.
Right. We're not going to talk about what the Ravens need because we're talking about the DC area, and the Ravens seemingly don't need much right now because they've got a formula.
They do.
That's working. It's called Mr. Jackson. It starts there. By the way, I can't talk NFL yet. We're going to get to that, but I got to talk about that Miami game yesterday. All right. Keep 3 and get rid of 1. I don't know. See, I don't know what you do when you're on vacation and what kind of sports you do, like when you're on the beach. So I picked ATVs, wave runners, speedboats, or off-roading in a Jeep. Which one has to go?
So you said wave runner,
ATVs, speedboats, or off-roading in a Jeep. Which one do you get rid of?
Keep 3, get rid of 1.
Yeah.
ATV, speedboat,
wave runner, or off-roading on a Jeep.
I'll probably get rid of the speedboat.
Get rid of the speedboat doesn't do much for you? No, but you want a fishing boat though, don't you?
Give me a nice fishing boat. That would change everything.
All right, so put the fishing boat in there. What you getting rid of?
Probably the off-road.
I'll think off-road in a Jeep.
Off-road Jeep.
That's what I'm thinking too. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting 5. The starting 5.
listening to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kirk Cross. And now, back to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kurt Cross.
We are back at Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner. I'm your host, Kurt Cross. And of course, we welcome you right here back into the studio. Let's get into this segment, Coach. NCAA football. Did they get it right?
No.
Talk to me.
They got it right for the money.
Okay. If that's what they were seeking.
Because that's what they're seeking.
Right.
I mean, they got it right for them to feel good about it.
Right.
Getting money.
Right.
But no, the team, so now we basing the team sport
right.
on an individual.
Okay.
Because they're saying you don't have your starting quarterback, so you shouldn't be in it. Well, they haven't had a quarterback. They keep winning.
Right.
And the one thing that you got to do to win championships keeps prevailing. Defense.
Their defense came through. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Michigan is number 1. University of Washington is number 2. Texas is number 3. Alabama is number 4. Michigan and Alabama will play in a playoff game. Washington and Texas will play in a playoff game. We have a broken system here, according to Coach Turner. And even though I am not a Florida State fan, I like nothing about the Seminoles. I'm a Florida Gators fan. And by default, if I like the Gators, I can't like the Seminoles. But fair is fair. The Florida State Seminoles went 13-0. We played y'all tough, though, but y'all still beat us. You've played 3 different quarterbacks this year. Mm-hmm. One of your quarterbacks, broken leg. Another quarterback, maybe concussion protocol?
Concussion protocol.
So your third-string freshman quarterback, who didn't do it all on his own. He had a great defense when they won the SEC championship. I said SEC. ACC, excuse me. SEC was Alabama, Georgia, who Georgia took that tumble, too. Mm-hmm. You won the ACC championship. You ran the table. My friend Keenan and I used to have a saying. Back in the day when it was just 64 teams in March Madness, and it was almost a guarantee if you win your conference, you get in. Some, conferences do that. Him and I were like, you can't complain about not making March Madness because you didn't win your conference. Florida State is a power school, and they won their conference. They did everything they were supposed to do. But somehow, the selection committee chose teams, Alabama, who does have a loss, and a lot of their wins were not pretty this year, but they beat Georgia, and that's what got them in, right? They won the Iron Bowl as well.
That's what they're saying what got them in. But again, for whatever reason, because they've built these super leagues,
right?
They don't believe they can have a championship series without an SEC school.
I heard someone sent me a tweet, and I listened to it a couple times, and it makes sense to me. I don't want to poke fun at the NCAA for this, but there was a coach, and you may have seen it too. He said they might as well just tell us at the beginning of the year who's going to be in the playoffs, because that's what they want.
I've said this all along. If we're chasing all this money for the universities, this is what they keep saying, why everyone's going to these superpower leagues. Just take college football and make it its own thing.
Talk to me about that. What do you mean?
You're ruining all the other college sports by making this super league.
Okay.
What good does it do to take away all the unbelievable rivalries we've had over the years in the other sports?
Right.
Especially basketball, college basketball.
Right.
What sense does it make to have Maryland's field hockey team going out to California?
Right.
Commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Probably having to miss 3 days of school.
At least.
For one game.
Right. Versus keeping them in the ACC.
Versus keeping your regions the way they've been for so long.
Maryland, Clemson, North Carolina.
And keeping what was
fun about it, right?
The innocence to me.
Okay.
There's nothing like the fact that Duke and Maryland don't play every year anymore.
That's crazy to me.
It's stupid.
Right.
Syracuse, Georgetown.
Right. St. John's, Georgetown.
What are we doing?
Right. Well, they're taking away what was fun for you and I, what we grew up on watching. And those battles were great. Maybe they're saying those battles just aren't there anymore.
It's not about the battles. They're not saying that. They just don't care. It's all money.
Right.
So we're making all of we're making college sports all about the loot.
Okay.
And I think it's a shame. But they're mad about the kids who jump ship to go get the loot.
Well, I'll tell you what, that transfer portal started getting active today after the football.
There's more quarterbacks in the transfer portal right now than ever.
Right.
It's unbelievable. In like 2 days.
Right. They just started jumping out the pot.
Jumping out.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, again, I said this before on another episode, we're creating a system of men running, which is not what this world needs.
Understood. Let's switch over. So Florida State belongs in that college playoff, in my opinion, and this is the only time. Y'all better hold on to this recording because I'm not a Seminoles fan, but I am vouching for the Seminoles. They belong in there. I mean, they were a great team.
Alabama should not be in. They lost to Texas, plain and simple.
They should not be in. No. Why is Georgia not in? Because they lost to Alabama. Well, Texas is that. Alabama's still there, and there's the Texas they couldn't beat. Right there. Michigan, I think this is Michigan's to win. Ohio State should have something to say about this too, by the way.
There's a lot of people that could have something to say about it. Or just expand the thing so we don't have this.
But if you expand, someone's still going to be left out, right?
Make it 8.
Make it 8? You feel better about 8?
Let's go back to the old way.
Okay.
People were always left out then, but you still had great bowl matchups.
Okay. All right.
It kept those latter parts of the season still great,
right,
and enjoyable in terms of those great matchups. But now you're completely leaving out teams that deserve to be in your new system.
I heard there's a Pop-Tart Bowl, by the way.
There is.
Stop it, Steve. I'm not going to believe you. Can you and I put enough money together so we can get a Steve and Curtis bowl? What?
Is it Jimmy? Which one? Which one of the night show guys?
Jimmy Fallon?
One of them has a bowl name after them.
Do they really?
Fallon, who's the other one?
Oh, I don't watch enough nighttime TV. I watch SportsCenter. That's what I watch.
Me too, but there's two.
One of them got one, right?
One of them has a bowl name after him.
All about the money, huh?
All about the Benjamins, baby.
Something happened at FedEx Field yesterday, and it didn't look too good. Now, one thing I do know is that Tyreek Hill's a bad boy.
Bad boy.
I mean, he looks like Deshaun Jackson, but a lot faster.
He's a speedster.
Is there any doubt why the Kansas City Chiefs, their offensive numbers are lower than they were for the past couple of years? Tyreek is that difference.
Oh, he definitely is.
Jeez, flip. He made us look like high school kids out there.
It was crazy.
I mean, that's a bad boy. The Skins have gotten 40 dropped on in the past couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. You and I did not feel by any stretch of the imagination this was going to be our breakout season. No. So let's just put that all to rest. We are not talking good or bad about the Skins now because of where they are after 10, 12 games.
Well, the numbers in terms of the last few weeks also, I feel like when you let go of Sweat and you let go of Young.
You really think that's it?
No, I definitely
part of it.
I definitely think it's a part of it because you took away from that rotation, that unbelievable rotation we had on that defensive line, which was able to go after people.
Put some pressure on the quarterback.
We can't do that.
Speed them up, right?
We don't have the ability to do that anymore with fresh bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We can start the game off doing that,
right?
But as you wear down and you're banging bodies to bodies, we don't have that same freshness we had going into third and fourth quarters anymore.
Right. I do think, so I will be the first to admit now, and this is my philosophy, therefore it's not going to change. You're not going to hear me flip-flop on this or anything like that. But what I will tell you is I've always been pro-coach. I think fans have a short fuse. Fans are impatient, and they always want to fire a coach too soon, I think. I was one who was guilty of wanting to keep Dan Snyder longer than we should have. I'm like, give the man a chance. I thought he did mellow out a little bit in terms of meddling in football operations, but that just gave the devil a playground for him to screw up everything else everywhere else.
Well, he was meddling in other things that he should have never been.
Exactly. Idle mind is the devil's playground. I do think it's time for Rivera to go. I also think it's time for Foxborough. What's his name? I can't say his name. New England Patriots coach. Belichick. I think it's time for him to go.
It is.
They've gotten shut out twice.
I think he needs a change.
Yeah. They've averaged like 12 points a game.
Yeah.
You can't win in the NFL.
I still think he's probably still one of the great minds, one of the great coaches.
Great mind.
I just think it's time for a new start.
Yeah, because you can't stay somewhere 30,000 years. They just need a fresh face.
Yeah.
They need every now and look, in 50 years, that Gonzaga logo is going to need a facelift, right?
No.
Steve, it probably will. They're going to have some new people.
It's the logo I created.
Oh, wow.
And it ain't going nowhere.
Steve, look, you're going to be,
I'm sure when I leave, they will make a new one.
But every now and then you need a new face, a new voice in the locker room. Mm-hmm. You need something. But the Skins, they need, I think we need to do some things differently. And I don't know that we keep anybody because, as I was telling the kids yesterday, whoever comes in is going to want to bring their crew.
Yes, no doubt.
And they should bring their crew.
I think they should.
Right.
I want us to come with the new.
I think you can keep some of the folks in the office that make copies for the coaches and who program the iPads, keep some of the interns. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think, maybe you keep strength and condition. Maybe one person here or there. I don't know. But, as a whole, defensive coordinators, linebackers, coaches, running backs,
I think
coaches,
whoever you're hiring as the head coach has got to be able to come in and freshen it up in the way that he wants. And I've always said, hey, you sit in that seat. You got to live and die by your beliefs and who you believe in, rocking with you.
And you can't take on other people's baggage and expect to be successful with that baggage.
And I'm sure he'll interview some of those guys, and there probably will be some guys that stick. Mm-hmm. But whoever it is, bring your crew, and let's get these Commanders, or what we might be getting, another new name.
Let's get us back into RFK Stadium is what I want.
I want that too.
I want to get us back.
I want to see the stadium shaking because everybody's jumping.
All right. We're most of the way through the season. I don't like to admit that because that disappoints me. But we're good. We're probably 3/4 of the way through the season. You've got Miami leading the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills. I think the window's closing.
It's a shame because I was hoping for them to get in.
I was hoping so. They can make the playoffs. They're on the outside looking in, but they have a reasonable chance to make the playoffs. However, I'm going to go through all these teams and give a little bit of nugget. Please chime in where you feel like you need to. I think their window's closing. New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, please stop. New England Patriots, you're 2-10. Your season is done. Ravens, looking good. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. I think this is your year to do it. I don't know why I said I'm sorry. Pittsburgh, looks like Tomlin's on his way to not having a losing season yet for like the 35th year in a row.
He's special.
He is. Cleveland, they're playing good ball at the right time. Cincinnati, Mr. Burrow is gone. Trevor Lawrence, can you do it? You're 8-3 and you're on Monday Night Football right now. Indianapolis is surprising some people at 7-5, I think. Houston at 7-5 is surprising some people. Is that D'Amico Ryans down there?
I don't know.
I feel like it's D'Amico Ryans, or is he in Las Vegas right now? I can't remember. Tennessee, well, they're Tennessee and they always will be. The Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs of old. I don't think it's their year.
I don't think it's their year. But I think they're still going to be in the talk.
You think they're still being in the talk? Denver Broncos, they ran off 4 in a row, maybe 5 in a row. They did take a loss the other day. I don't think there's much happening with them. Chargers, a lot of promise, but they didn't do much. The Raiders, well, they're still the Raiders. Philadelphia Eagles, they got their asses handed to them by the 49ers last night, right?
I think the 49ers made a big statement.
They made it clear?
We talked about this pre the show.
Right.
I feel like, and I agree. When they're fully healthy,
right,
they might be the most complete team. Complete team in all.
Even with a quarterback who's not super seasoned. I love it for them, right?
No doubt.
But they put everybody on notice.
They definitely do.
The Cowboys, don't like to talk good about them, but they're 9-3. But they got the Eagles this week.
9-3, but we know what happens when they get to the playoffs.
We know what happens. They do a James Harden, don't they?
Thank you, Dak.
Dallas and Philly, I think, square off this weekend, and Philly's going to be pissed. The Giants, they look better than the Commanders with the same record, basically, but they beat our asses twice. Detroit, enough people are not talking about Detroit. They look pretty good. The Vikings, we thought they were left for dead because Kirk Cousins was hurt, but they look halfway okay. And Green Bay did beat the Chiefs, right? They beat the Chiefs. They looked,
you know what they did?
What's that?
They had Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. They sped him up.
They didn't let him breathe.
Right, they sped him up. Chicago, well, they're the Chicago Bears. I feel bad for, what is it? What's the kid, the quarterback out there?
I can't,
it's not Jalen.
Love. No.
Justin Fields. Yeah, I feel bad for him. The Atlanta Falcons, well, they're going to make the playoffs because even at 6-6, every division winner has to make the playoffs. Tampa, New Orleans, and Carolina. Well, Carolina's 1-11.
We don't have to talk about that division. They done.
Just leave that alone, huh? But then you got the 49ers. And the 49ers, like we said, we believe are the most complete team. I think we agree. We're looking at 49ers.
Philly.
No, 49ers in the Super Bowl. We're looking at 49ers versus... We don't agree. I go Ravens.
I would like to see that.
Okay, but you're not sure that's what it will be.
I'm not sure that's what it will be. I like to see that, but I'm not sure that it will
You
be.
think Miami might have something to say about it?
I think Miami, and I'm still going to say the Chiefs still could be.
They need to be in the talk, huh? All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after these messages, y'all.
You're listening to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kirk Cross.
Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other popular podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Wrong button.
And now, back to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kurt Cross.
Let's talk real quick about WCAC football. We knew good counsel will do it. It was theirs to lose. They've got 7, 8, 9, 10 youngins who are going D1. They won. They beat DeMath, I think, right?
They beat DeMath.
They beat DeMath in the final. And on the other side, Riken, I think, beat Carroll. Riken has won 3 of the last 4, maybe, or 3 in a row, 4 in a row?
At least 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, 3 of the last 4. And their coach,
Carroll got 1.
Carroll got 1 in there?
I think so.
They went undefeated one year and lost to Riken, I know.
That's true.
But I don't know if they won one of those years. WCSC Hoops, Coach, let's talk about it. PVI looks like they are on a mission right now. They're winning games by a lot. I don't know what the competition's like that they're playing, but we're early. What are we looking like in the WCAC?
It's just early.
It's just early.
Everyone's getting their non-conference games in, playing in some showcase events, playing in some one-offs. Couple early league games. That big win that PVI had was against the Heights.
Right.
And
I can say it because I don't coach in WCAC. The Heights typically does not factor into what goes on at the top of the WCAC in basketball, at least.
correct.
Right. Am I seeing more tournaments? No, I'm seeing more jamborees and super games and a lot more of that now.
A lot of people starting to put on events.
Right.
Trying to bring in some heavy hitters from out of town to give themselves opportunities to test where they are.
Right.
And as I say it all the time, I think the best thing we can all do is give ourselves opportunity to play against the best early, figure out where it is you got to get better,
Okay.
and grow towards that last weekend in February.
Right. I'm seeing, on the women's side, there's some super games. There's a bunch of stuff. She's Got Game Classic, like a couple games that I was asked to call that I cannot call, but there are going to be 10, 15 games going on this weekend at St. John's. And I love that for the girls' side. I don't not want it for the boys' side, but the boys have often had that. Before there was a girls' summer league, there was a boys' summer league, all of the above. So I'm loving that for the girls' side. What I don't love, and we're going to talk about this, well, I don't know if we would have gotten to it in the next segment, but GMO Christmas, can AZ Fudd catch a break?
No, she can, and it seems like neither her nor her buddy, Paige,
Can catch a break. Right. We're going to get to women's college basketball.
I've been dying
to see them
those two play together for a whole season.
Right.
And we're not getting it.
We're not getting it at all. But WCSC Hoops is looking like it's going to be exciting as it always is. I think it will. The league will live up to what we know it to be, the best league for for high school basketball, even better than some college conferences too. In the nation. But you went to Chicago. Tell the people, where else will you travel this year, and who's traveling to you?
We're heading. I guess I'll talk about who's traveling with us because our tournament's next week.
Yeah.
So we've got Archbishop Ryan from Philly.
Right.
Their best player is a young man who's already committed and signed to go to Georgetown the following year.
So we'll get to see him next weekend and locally next year.
And then we're bringing back our brothers from the Chi, who had us out there, and Whitney Young and Coach Tyrone Slaughter.
They'll be here for the tournament next week.
They'll be here for the tournament next week.
Good.
And then we get some heavy hitters from local. Jackson Reed, who's been a staple in the
past 2-3 years
in the inner high. You've got Georgetown Prep,
Oh boy, they're playing some nice ball
Playing
right
some
now.
great ball. Just won a big event over at Cook Council this weekend.
Right.
And then we get an opportunity to bring in some of my former coaches.
Okay. It's always fun.
Devin Williams and his St. John's Catholic Prep team from out of the B Moore League, and
Right.
Pilati, new head coach Chris Douglas,
Okay.
who's been on my staff for the last couple of years, and so we're excited. It's gonna be fun.
Good stuff. You know what I'm going to miss? I am unable to call the St. Francis game tomorrow, the young ladies, because you know who plays on that team. Terrell Suggs' daughter.
Oh wow!
And that's not where the story is. Terrell Suggs' baby mama comes into the gym. The whole world knows when she's in the gym. Here's what I will say about her. She's a lot of fun. She does know the game of basketball, but man, it's four-letter word after four-letter word coming out of her mouth. And she has you cracking up in those things, but it's four-letter word after four-letter word. Steve, if y'all weren't playing tomorrow, I would be in that gym because she's worth the price of admission.
Wow.
She is. Her daughter didn't get to play last year because she was suspended from the team for a fight she had on the court.
Oh wow!
But no.
We're other places we're traveling.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
It's all good. It's all good. Other places we're traveling. We're heading to Arkansas for Christmas, playing in the King Cotton Classic, an event that's been going on for many years. We're heading to Hoop Hall for the Hall of Fame up in Springfield, Mass.
Right.
And we're heading out to Maine.
Wow. I've been to Maine one time.
Well, we're going up there to play for a homecoming game.
Okay.
The number one player in the country,
Okay.
Cooper Flagg, and the Mount Bird Eagles from Florida.
Question. When you get up to the hall, is Jared going to be able to come see y'all?
I doubt it. It's not that close.
Okay.
It's not that close. I doubt he'll be playing.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he's a traveling man too. So, hey, y'all, check out Jared Turner. I can't call his schools out now. Northeastern University. Check him out. It's on ESPN Plus. It's on some network. I mean, you stream
Flow
everything.
Hoops, Nesson. They've got some games this year. The league on CBS Sportsnet.
All right, go check them out. We're going to take another break, and we're going to come back with NBA college basketball talk on the men's and the women's side. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kurt Cross.
Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other popular podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word.
And now, back to Take a TO with Coach Steve Turner and your host, Kurt Cross.
Welcome back to Take a TO with Steve Turner. Coach Steve Turner, I'm your host, Kurt Cross. Let's talk about the NBA. I had this talk earlier today. Give me 3 candidates for MVP. I think there are 2 that I think there's one standout, one that's pretty close, and one that's a distant third.
All right, give me yours.
Distant third is Luka. He's scoring a lot, but he's playing on a team that's just not winning, and they play no defense.
Right.
I think second is the Joker. He's putting up incredible numbers. The other day, I think he's had 2 triple-doubles in a row. The other day, he had an incredible triple-double with no turnovers. I think 8 assists in the first quarter. The Joker's doing his thing. But a team that we didn't expect to be there, who has some youngins playing at a high level, is OKC, and I think Shea. I think right now Shea is the one that I'm looking at as an MVP candidate.
I think he's an MVP candidate, but I'll drop Luka.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the guy that never gets talked about enough is a candidate.
Don't say it.
KD, look at his numbers.
You know what? Someone brought that up to me, and they were willing to drop KD for Luka. But, okay, you would want KD in there.
I think it could be any of those 3.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Anthony Edwards for some reason.
No. KD, I would have KD, Joker, and Shea.
You would have KD, Joker, and Shea. In what order, though? In what order, brother?
That order I just said.
Wow, KD gets it as far as you're concerned.
If he keeps putting up these numbers, yes.
Okay. I mean, hey, I can live with it. It's your top 3, not mine.
If he keeps putting up these numbers, KD's going to be the MVP.
Who is most improved?
Team or player?
Player. I've got a couple of. I would think Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey's playing out of his mind.
Those would be the first two that I think about.
Right.
But I don't know if they're most improved. I just think they're getting opportunity to shine.
Okay, all right. So you don't think they came from way down here to go way up here?
No, I don't.
Right, okay,
I don't think that. I think Jalen showed it last year that he was ready to be the face of that team.
Then showed it in the summertime.
And once you got rid of Harden, I would go with Maxey, probably over Jalen, because now he's being put in a position to prove that he deserves to be at an elite level. So he could be the most improved in his.
Yeah, but it's kind of tough because he didn't suck, right?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think his game has improved anymore. I just think he's been now put in the position to be a leader.
If we're going to talk about Rookie of the Year, I don't think it's even close. I think Chet gets it over Wemby right now.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think he gets it over Wemby. Again,
it's a little more consistent, that's all.
Right, it's a little more consistent, and I think when the votes come in, unless you're the super sexy pick, winning kind of helps. Yeah. And OKC is winning right now. I mean, San Antonio's sitting at 3-16, and that's not pretty. And don't forget, Memphis is not looking too good right now, but they do get Ja back. But
how many more games?
He's got 6 more games he's out. Okay. However, I'd be willing to bet, and I haven't read the fine print of the suspension, I'd be willing to bet he could not participate in any Grizzlies activities. And he couldn't be on the property probably in their training facility. So when I hear people say he's been working out, he probably hasn't been working out with an NBA, strength and conditioning guy or whatever. So I wonder, is he going to be ready to go? I mean, he can run all he wants, but it's nothing like an NBA workout on the 94x50 with NBA scouts.
Well, he got money to be on a 94x50.
Right, no, he does, but will the suspension allow him to be with actual NBA people who know the pedigree to get him ready?
Most of these guys don't walk in the summer with the people in their franchise. They work out with some guy that they pay.
Well, that's true, but are they paying the right guy? Because LBJ does that, and he comes back ready every year. Well, but a lot of these guys don't.
I haven't seen John not come back ready to play.
Yeah, but 25-game suspension. You sure the bullets aren't going to weigh his pockets down?
Nah, he'll be ready.
Defensive Player of the Year. I think there's
Gobert, Rudy.
Y'all ain't never heard me be that silent. I'm sorry that you're not going to like me for this. But Anthony Davis deserves to get that look.
Anthony Davis don't make layups, so he don't get that. LeBron James standing in the back, watching him miss the layup, being upset, letting the other team go down and bang a 3, tells you a whole story.
It doesn't tell you nothing. What are you talking about?
That picture speaks 1,000 words, bro.
You know what speaks 1,000 words? Number 1 seed in the in-season tournament. Talk to me. That's the Lakers.
And y'all won't get through the first round of the playoffs.
Steve.
Y'all gonna get through one round and that's it.
Who says who?
Says me.
Okay. Y'all heard it here. He's averaging 23, 13, 3 assists per game. He's protecting the rim. He's blocking everybody's shot. I mean, what do you want from him?
He'll be hurt before you know it.
And so will KD.
Nah.
KD has missed more games than AD.
No way.
Oh, okay. You want me to pull that stat? Please talk to the people, Steve. I got stats to pull.
You and these damn Lakers.
Okay. So, top 5 players I don't need NBA history, but I need most recently.
We talking about now. You going backwards.
Derrick Rose, Greg Oden. Well, we know all these answers. Grant Hill, blah, blah, blah. Those are the old guys. All right, so let's look this up right here. Most hurt players, NBA, last 5 years, let's just say. All right, last 5 years. What NBA player gets hurt the most? Was the longest lasting NBA? Top 5. I don't want history. Oh, man.
I think I could answer that question. But your guy would be on the list. Boom! First pitcher up, Mr. Davis.
Okay, hold on, Steve. Where Anthony Davis is number 1 right
Number
there.
1.
That's in 2021.
I don't care.
That was in 2021.
Number 1.
That's one season.
Number 1.
Okay. You keep talking, dog. Please keep talking. Okay, among the NBA's top 10, who is the most injury prone? Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard. Oh, hold on.
Anthony Davis.
Okay, hold on.
There it is. Dame Lillard, number 10.
Dame Lillard.
Keep going.
James Harden.
He ain't hurt.
Giannis. LeBron.
Oh, two of the Lakers in the top 10.
Steph.
2 of the Lakers in the top 10.
KD.
Keep going.
Kyrie.
Get to that number 1.
Anthony Davis. Full season has 0 out of 9 full season. But that could mean that he missed 4 games.
No, come on, Curtis.
Kawhi, 0 out of 10 seasons. Who's the most hurt?
Embiid.
I wouldn't put Joel Embiid there. Hold on, dog.
2 Lakers.
And how many titles has KD? We won a title in the last 3-4 years.
And he hasn't?
KD? No.
Yes, he has.
Okay, so now we got to go look at
4 years ago.
NBA champions.
Right?
Gmo Christmas.
How many years did he do with Brooklyn?
I don't know how many years he did with Brooklyn. Ooh. The list of NBA champions, we're looking at it right here. Denver, Golden State, he didn't win it with them there. Phoenix, Lakers. He might have been there that year.
He was. He's 4 years away.
Steve, we're about to be 2024. That's 5 years away. Lakers have won one more recently than he has. Lakers have won one more recently because the Phoenix Suns, they lost to Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, was he on that team? No, he was in Brooklyn during that time, huh? Shut up, Steve. You think you know everything. College basketball. When are we going to see Paige and AZ do it together?
I don't think it's going to ever happen.
Because Paige is a junior. Were both of them juniors?
No.
No, Paige was 1 year ahead of her.
Yes.
Because I remember Paige was playing for UConn and came down to see AZ at St. John's. Maybe it was AZ's junior year. And because Paige is Minnesota? That's where she's from, right? Yeah. So you don't think we're going to see it?
I hope so, but nothing points in that direction.
Okay. Nothing points in that direction. UConn has the worst ranking they've had in the last 30 years. They're ranked number 17. University of Maryland women are out. South Carolina, UCLA are 1 and 2. Anything surprise you there? I mean, UConn has taken a couple of losses. They've taken maybe 3. They're 4 and 3, I think.
Well, they haven't had a consistent lineup because of the injuries.
Right.
But I'm surprised at a couple of their losses in the way they've lost.
Right. No, I agree.
I mean, my girl gonna have her girls ready.
Right.
Dog gonna have the girls ready.
UCLA looks good, though. UCLA looks good.
And they got a hometown girl.
UCLA? They got, what's her name? Kiki, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know. Okay, look, you're looking at me like I didn't know.
Yes, sir.
Kiki Rice, who's on the podcast.
I would love to see Kiki go win it all.
You know what? She got to go through Dawn. What's happening on the men's side? Can y'all keep a number 1? Can you keep anybody in the number 1 spot?
No, and I think it's great.
Arizona's there currently?
Arizona's there. I think they'll be there for a minute.
Who was there last week?
Purdue.
All right, what's going on that side?
Parity.
Okay.
Portal. NIL.
All of the above?
All of the above.
How's Kansas doing? How's our boy Hunter doing?
They're number 2.
Okay.
They're doing the thing.
Right.
I just think you're going to see an unbelievable NCAA tournament.
I think you're 100% correct.
And I love that it's happening. I mean, to see 2 teams from my son's conference knock off 2 Power 5 schools this past weekend. UNC women went into Kentucky and whipped that butt.
How much they win by?
They just whipped that butt. When I say whip that butt, it's just how they beat them.
Right.
Not necessarily the points.
The score, okay.
They beat them.
Okay.
Then you get Drexel.
Okay.
Made Villanova be 0-3 in the Big 5. That never happens.
Right.
I don't even know when the last time they lost the Big 5.
Right. Houston's still there. Is that Calvin Sampson?
Yeah.
Does he play by the rules?
Yeah.
If I turn the mics off, he gonna say the same thing?
I mean, he's gotten caught for some things before, but now with the new rules, there is no cheating.
Right, so there you go, right?
No one's cheating anymore. No one can cheat anymore. Wait till y'all see where St. John's is in the next couple years.
Purdue, they're 7-1. Who's coaching St. John's? Is that Pitino?
Coach P.
Oh boy, they're gonna be number 1 before
He's got one of the biggest bankrolls behind him now.
Right?
Smart water.
UConn, Baylor, Gonzaga, Marquette. UNC's up there. They're number 9. And then you got Creighton. All right. I don't know what any of these teams look like because I'm still into, the NFL. And, of course, I'm catching my
I'll say this.
Say
my biggest heartbreak this weekend.
Talk to me.
Because I'm excited for what Coach Cooley is going to do at Georgetown.
The boy was out of bounds.
They got robbed.
The boy was out of bounds. Now, you can't review it?
We're going to have a review.
For everything.
For everything else. But you can't review the way that the team lost the game.
The youngin was out of bounds. Half his foot was out of bounds.
Half his foot was out of bounds.
Oh, that was a heartbreaker,
That
wasn't
was
it?
a heartbreaker. I felt bad.
How do they look otherwise? I'm not paying
I
attention.
mean, they weren't supposed to be in that game.
Okay.
If you go talent for talent.
Okay.
And Coach Cooley's showing you guys he can coach some guys up.
Right.
And those kids are believing in him. They got his back. And, I think it's still going to be a rough and rocky road for them this year because of the talent pool that they have.
But again, we don't judge them after this year.
Well,
right?
I've told everybody, anybody judging them on this year, they're crazy. They didn't have a chance to go do some of the things these guys were able to do in the portal. But he's going to coach the kids up. And when he gets his pieces in,
watch out.
Duke
is 5-3. You don't usually see that, huh?
Couple losses back to back.
That'll do it, huh?
Arkansas, and then they lose to Georgia Tech.
Who's coaching at Arkansas?
That's Musselman.
Eric Musselman?
Yeah.
Why do I know him? He played in the association,
He was
right?
an NBA coach.
Okay, that's what it was. All right. What else you got for me, Steve?
Coach, I don't have much for you.
Except for tomorrow, you're going to be a happy man.
Homecoming.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for listening to Take It To You with Coach Steve Turner. I am your host, Kurt Cross. As always, we appreciate you listening on Buzzsprout, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast content. We're on Amazon Music, too. If you got Amazon Music, go listen to us.
Follow us, baby.
Follow us, like us, send us a tweet. Do whatever you do. We're going to be here. I do want to say that I am working on something.
Yeah,
I can't even talk to you about it, but you will want to be here, folks, in the next couple of weeks. You will want to be listening to.
It's next week.
I sent a text today. It's going to be either next week or the 18th.
Okay.
And let's make sure we get that thing to happen. I'm 90% sure it's going to happen because someone arranged this for me. You will be happy. You will be happy. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
And Coach Turner knows nothing about it.
A good surprise.
It'll be
Actually,
a good surprise.
I usually tell my wife I don't want surprise, but you got me hyped up on this one.
I do. Folks, next time we talk to you, there'll be probably a couple more wins under Coach Turner's belt, a couple more games called by me.
It better be.
All right. And we'll see you next time. Coach, tell the people goodbye, sir.
Good riddance. See you all in another week.